If you could have written a letter to the younger Josh Miller, what might you have told him? Kind of a note to self. I'm really intrigued about your answer because there's going to be individuals watching this MoxieTalk that have or are about to traverse the journey that you have come from and are still on. So I'm curious your answer to that.
I think very early on, I saw perfectionism as what needed to be attained to be successful. And I think for many of us, whether it's LGBTQ+, whether it's a Black person or a person of color, people from different marginalized communities are feeling excluded in different ways. This perfectionist mindset is something that we think helps us to attain. And so I think that reiterating, we've talked about the process and how important that is. But the role that perfectionism played for me, especially in my teens, was that it rooted very deeply an unhealthy relationship with eating and with body. And with what perfectionism was based on Abercrombie ads or based on the visuals that were around versus understanding what all the body can do and look like while it's moving and all of those things. And so for a long time, that has been a struggle from a perfectionist control side for me. And so I think really being able to revisit and to understand not everything will be perfect, and that's not the best thing to strive for, but striving for the learning and the process and how are you moving forward in life. I think that is far more important. There have been, for example, when I stopped drinking, a lot of the feedback that I got was, Josh only stopped drinking because he's so healthy. Like it was not in their mind because of the running photos and because I run and because I present, you know, in the way that I do, that the outward appearance was, it wasn't a problem, it was just because he's healthy. And as someone recently pointed out to me, which startled me for a second, then I was like, oh, it's a good thing that your values change over time. And I don't want to perpetuate a way of being in an image for other people that is not true. And so when I gave up drinking, I put mocktails in its place in the hope that would kind of fill its void. I mean, that really didn't work. And so what I found was that the struggle with balancing body image and eating was the thing that came back in its place. And so that has been the thing that I've been tackling most recently and very actively and starting to do so publicly because that is where accountability comes from and that's how we drive change. But I say all of that because it's very damaging to go through a lot of years harboring that as something shameful and not seeking to understand what it's rooted in and how you overcome it.